World War I started in 1914 and ended in 1918. You might hear it called many names: the War of Nations, the Global Conflict, the Great War, Trench Warfare, or even the War to End All Wars. This war involved almost every major European power at the time: Britain, France, Russia, Germany, and Austria-Hungary. Millions of soldiers and civilians were caught up in it, and it completely changed the world. But here's the thing: wars don't just suddenly explode one morning. The tension had been building for years. Historians like to sum up the main reasons for the war with one simple word: main. M is for militarism, A for alliances, I for imperialism, and N for nationalism. Militarism. Back then, countries in Europe were obsessed with building huge armies and powerful weapons. It was almost like a competition. Germany and Britain especially kept trying to outdo each other. Everyone believed having the strongest military made them more secure, but actually it made them more suspicious of each other. Alliances. Nations also made secret promises to protect each other if war broke out. So instead of a small fight, these alliances dragged in more countries. Two big groups were formed: the Triple Alliance, the Triple Entente. Triple Alliance had Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, whereas Triple Entente had Britain, France, and Russia. So basically, if one country was attacked, their friend would jump in too, and boom, the war would spread fast. Imperialism. At the same time, European powers were fighting over colonies in Africa and Asia. Countries like Britain and France had big empires, while Germany wanted to catch up. This competition created jealousy and clashes, especially between the old powers and the rising ones. Nationalism. People were super proud of their countries. This strong feeling people had about loving their own nation and wanting independence. Now, one of the best examples of nationalism at that time was in a region called the Balkans. The Balkans was like a mix of many different peoples and culture. Among them were the Slavs. They shared language and tradition, and they really wanted to unite and form their own big Slavic nation. But here's the problem: many of these slaves were living under Austria-Hungary's control, and Austria-Hungary didn't want to let them go. On the other hand, Serbia, which was a Slavic country, was encouraging them to break free. And guess what? Russia jumped in too, supporting Serbia because Russia was also Slavic and wanting more influence in the region. So you can see how nationalism in the Balkans created a lot of tension. That's why the Balkans was called the power keg of Europe. It was full of explosive feelings of nationalism just waiting for the spark. Immediate cause. The spark came on 28 June 1914 when Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austrian throne, visited Sarajevo. A young Serbian nationalist assassinated him. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and declared war. Russia stepped in to defend Serbia. Soon, other nations were pulled in because of their alliances. Two powerful groups were now at the war: the Allies, Britain, France, Russia, and later the United States; the Central Power, Germany, Austro-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. What began as a local conflict in the Balkans quickly turned into a global war. And that is how rivalries, militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism, and one assassination in the Balkans set the entire world on fire.